almost used up all their coins.
I have 2 left.
You have 2 left?
She loses a ton because she only got 5.
Oh, it's gonna be so close. Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday. My kids are at library right now, and I'm just scurrying around trying to get things done and hurting myself in the process. Keep banging into stuff because I'm moving too fast and whacking into things. So I need to just chill, slow down a little bit, and be more careful with myself because I'm going to have the worst looking hands ever if I keep doing that. Let me show you my outfit, and then I'm going to show you some of the things that we've been doing and we're going to do. So of course I've got more St. Patrick's things on. This is one of those scarves from Dollar Tree. I could not even tell you how I did this. I just kind of, and it looked fine to me, so I left it. Got my Shamrock earrings. I wore these yesterday too. And then I'll back up so you can see the t-shirt and the leggings that I have. And then I've got on little shoes, and you can't tell, but I have cute little St. Patrick socks on, but my shoes cover them most of the way. But I know they're there, so that's cool. And I have a little thing that I could wear on my head that I haven't brought out yet because I didn't want to add to the silly of math. The kids are already very excited for the Leprechaun stuff, so I thought I would break that out later when we're doing our student data and things for the conferences where it's not so important to be quiet and listen as much. So I'm going to back up so you can see what I'm wearing, and then I'll show you a few things. So I've got a shirt full of luck. Lucky 4-leaf clovers all over my shirt. Then my leggings. Man, they're capris, and I decided to go with no boots today. I just have my little, these are not real Converse, but like fake Converse, little plaid ones. And I have some, these have shamrocks all over them too, but you can't tell. Oh well, I know they're there. I know I have lucky socks on. There's lucky socks there. Let me show you what we're going to do for spelling practice today. So instead of them having to write anything today, they're going to read, spell, read, and they're going to play it with the bump game. So I have some of them ready to go. I think I may have showed this the other day, but I've got the pages printed, and they're going to go on the backs of this. So it's a two-sided thing. I like to conserve my sleeves because they're not cheap, especially the heavy-duty ones. So on the back of these, I'm going to put this little bump game. And we played the other bump game earlier that I showed. The kids were playing this. This is in my TpT store. And the link will be below if you want to get it for your class. You play this bump game the same way you play any bump game. You shake the dice, you add the numbers together. After you get the sum, on this one, you look for that sum on your paper. Then you find the word that matches it. Then you're going to read it, spell it, read it, then cover it with your playing piece. Now, just like the math bump game, they're going to get, one of the partners is going to have green, a pot of green coins, and a pot of yellow coins. So I'll cover the piece up when they get it. They can be bumped off if they only have 1 coin on that spot. But if they have gotten 2 coins on that spot, they're safe and their partner cannot bump off their gold. So the goal is to get all your gold on the board and be the winner of the gold. So they're loving it, loving it. Of course, one kid was like, "Can we keep this?" I said, "No, because we wouldn't have anything to play our games with then, would we?" That's why I always have them count things. And I am missing one right now, but it is very possible that it is on the floor somewhere that's rolled away. Because a couple of my boys were a little squirrelier today than sometimes. And so it's possible. But I've got this set up for later. It's all ready to go. I've got my pots of gold. I've got my cups. And these will be ready by the time they come back. Because we'll do this after lunch. Oh, and my nose is starting to run. I will show you the hallway. Because the hallway has all sorts of cool stuff in it. Not everybody got finished, but we're close. You saw a rainbow mix snack earlier that I just mixed up in a green bowl. I just keep that bowl here all the time to mix stuff in. But it's just those fruity marshmallows you can get at the grocery store or Walmart, and like the multi-meal brand of the Fruit Loops. So it's basically Fruit Loops and the fruity marshmallows. And it tastes really good, actually. I even made myself a little one. Haven't eaten it yet. I've had 2 bites. Yesterday I finally finished my snack at the end of the day. And the kids are like, "Are you finally finishing your snack?" And I said, "Yeah, since 9 o'clock. And they're like, "Whoa." They were floored. They're like, "Miss Bond." I said, "Miss Mom was too busy to eat." And they're like, "Yeah." Okay, I wanted to show you all the pile of stuff I have for the conferences tomorrow. So this is what we will be working on the rest of the day till we get it done. And then we can do what I'd planned to do because I forgot all about doing this. Okay, so they're going to come to the table, a few of them at a time, because more than that is madness for the teacher. I'm going to have them color in what their reading levels were from beginning of the year, end of first quarter, end of second quarter, and end of third quarter. So I don't have one of these. So we have a baseline. We have an end of first quarter, which is right here, and end of second quarter. And I won't do middle of the year, and I'll do end of third quarter because that's what we are right now. So the only one that they're going to need to have later is this one. This is end of fourth quarter. We don't do a midline because that's the same thing. Okay, so they're going to color that in, and each one will be a different color, and it'll be just like the one that I have for the class that's up here on the board. And they'll share with their parents, and then I'm going to have them come up with some goals. My personal goal, like something as a person that they want to do, not something they want to be better at. Like, I want to be a better listener, like things like that, like a behavior mostly. I think I'm going to call this a behavior goal. I want to be a better listener. I want to remember to raise my hand before I say something. I want to follow the rules and stay in my seat unless I have permission, things like that, things that they're having trouble with. And then there's an academic goal, a learning goal. I want to be a better reader. I want to do better at math. I want to be better at science or whatever. I'll get to pick those. Then I've got a parent letter that's going to go home today. It says, "Dear parents, conferences are approaching, blah, 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 blah. It's student-led. Make sure you bring your kid with you. What you can expect. Introduction of Leadership Notebook." That's basically going to be all this data stuff that they give them. We don't have a notebook per se, but they do have binders. So I may have them leave their binders here today. Okay, anyway, it says it'll be goal sharing, which is this page, data sharing, which is this page, and celebrations, and that'll be one of these other things I'll show you. Okay, whoop, my pile is falling. Then it says, "I've attached questions that you can ask your child after the conference is over," which I don't want to actually send that home today, but I might. Questions to ask your child. Okay, so those will go home today. Put those over here because I need to put them in their little cubbies. Okay, this is something that they're going to make. This is like their celebrations. I rock at, I'm okay at, I need to improve on. Okay, this will end up being a flippy book, which I did sort of show like a flyby yesterday. So they're going to write something they rock at, something they think they're really super good at, they're very confident about. Then in the middle, something they're okay at, but they could be better. They're not terrible, but they could be better. And then something they really are struggling with and they need to work on. And then they'll cut this page out and this page out. They glue this little strip part here onto this part, and they will snip the dotted lines, and we will stick it on here, and this will be a cute little page for them to do. Oh, this one doesn't have to be cut. This one doesn't get cut. This one does. Sorry. I need to make sure I know what I'm doing, so I tell them to do the right thing, because I am not printing these again. So the kids are going to do their data graph. We've been working on bar graphs this week too, so it's all easy. And then they're going to do their goals and something they're good at, and then make their little flippy book. And it should be all set. And then after they show that stuff to their families when they come tomorrow, they will get to show them the strategy game, which is on the one I just showed you. That'll be on the one side of the sight word game. The one with the little coin areas where they take 1, 2, or 3 pieces off, and the last one to take the piece is not the winner this time because the leprechaun stole the gold and you lost. So they'll show them how to play the strategy game, which will be really fun because the kids totally love that game. And they'll play the sight word bump game with their families. I think I'll give them a choice. They can either play the math one or the sight word one because we only have 15 minutes. So really they have about 5 minutes to show their family stuff, 5 minutes to play the games, 5 to 7 minutes. And just like they can swing by me and just chat for a couple minutes and grab the report card. I'll say if I have any, if they have questions from that paper, I'll answer them. And I'll just tell them what I think, and they'll move on. They can go show their families the art that's out on the walls and the art show that's down the hallway. Okay, so that'll be what we do. Like I said, only 15 minutes, so it's not very long. I was going to show you this book that I made, but it did not copy well, so I'm just going to show it to you on the computer, if I can find it right away. So I did this with my Power Hour group today, and I like doing it with them because you can change it to however you want to do it. That's a heat my lunch thing, which I need to do. Today I have one of those macaroni and cheeses, the aged white cheddar with the black pepper. So all you do is you pull the top off, pull the little packet of cheese off, grab the stray noodles that jumped out. There's a little line in here. It goes to like here. You can see inside there's a fill line. You fill that with water and you stick it in the microwave and you heat it up. And it's done. You just mix it up with the cheese sauce. Oh, and there's like salt or something in here too that's going everywhere. So I'll make sure I get that in there. And that'll be my lunch. And I brought some fruit too. We got some raspberries and strawberries and blueberries at the store last night, and a pineapple, which we haven't cut the pineapple, but we have the other. I have the berries with me, so I'll be eating that with my lunch. Okay, back to the thing I want to show you. I've made a couple of different time books. I have one that's gingerbread time, and I have one that's snowman time, but I didn't have any after that because I just didn't need them, because when I made them, they went along with our Saxon math, and time was over with by those times. Like it was in the winter, obviously, like December. Where did it go? I finally found it. My eyes are just not working. Okay. Let me get to the beginning of it for you. Okay, here it is. It's called It's Time for Leprechauns, and each page just has an analog clock and a digital clock that are blank, and it says it's time to wake up, it's time for breakfast, it's time for math, it's time for whatever through the school day. And I did not number the pages so that you could put it in whatever order you wanted to, and then you just can put whatever times you want. You can just say, okay, it's time to get up. What time should we get up in the morning? And whatever time you're working on. Like we're working on time to the 30 minutes in my Power Hour group, so I did everything a half hour. So we did 6:30 was time to wake up, 7:30 was time for breakfast. We put 8:30 was time for school. I said, this is a different school, friends. We don't start school at 8:30 at our school, do we? We start earlier than that. But since we're doing 30 minutes, we want to make sure it matches, so we did that. Anyway, here's what it looks like. It's time for leprechauns. Time for leprechauns. And then each page goes through, it's time to wake up, it's time to eat breakfast, time for school to start, time for recess, time for math, time for lunch, time for reading, time for library, time for snack, time to pack, time to go home, time for homework, time for dinner, time to go to bed. Time for bed. And that's the whole book. And you can just put whatever times you want. So if you're working on time to the 5-minute interval, you can just do that. If you're working on time to the minute, you can do that. Whatever you want, you can customize it however you like. So the Leprechaun time book is in my TpT store, and I will link it below in case you want it. It's $2. It's quick print. You can print it double-sided. It makes 2 books on a page. You just double-side them, staple them, cut them in half, done. And the kids just follow you along as you do it. I just projected the book on the board and just did page by page with them. I said, oh, time to get up. What time do you guys get up in the morning? And we talked about that a little bit because I had time to do that with my Power Hour group, because that's all we were focusing on was just time to the half hour. Yep. So I think they liked it, and they get to take it home and read it to their families if they want to. So that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to go clean up my owie and heat up my macaroni and cheese so it can be cooling while I go take my kids to lunch. And when I come back, I'm going to get some more stuff done. I need to print the grade cards out. I need to check them first. I'll probably print them in black and white so I have a copy for myself and I can look them over. And if there's a boo-boo, I can write on my copy, and I'll make sure I fix it before I print out the color ones, the nice ones for the families. So I will probably check back with you later and let you know how things are going. So I'll see you then. So this was our afternoon here after lunch. They did the spelling bump game. They worked on their leprechaun. Some of them didn't quite get finished, so they'll do that after recess. The rest of them went to their center wheels. I did my attempt at the 4-leaf clovers. Some of them look a little weird, but you know, whatever. And then this is life here. Look at this. So I'm trying to get everyone called over 2 at a time to do the reading levels for the year. Because, you know, I didn't start this early enough. I got to cram it in the day before conferences. Of course I do. But it just shows their progress. And some of them I have not tested for 3rd quarter. So I've left that part blank. But there's the middle of the year part there. So if I did test them, they skipped that one. If I didn't test them, they put their level there. Here is these are our baskets of things. So this is the morning basket that has some people's stuff in it that aren't here. Here are the dice cups. There are the pots of gold I need to put away over here. Walk with me. We're going to go over here and put them back over here because we'll need them for tomorrow. Okay, here we go. I don't have to get them out again. Yay. I basically have no lipstick left on my face, but whatever. Oh, I've got stuff everywhere. Look at the room. Not too bad. There's just some people in various degrees of completion, but they have some of them don't have a lot of time because they have reading to go to, so they need to finish them in the morning, but that's okay. And I realized I'm going to do a coding activity tomorrow that was from Teach Outside the Box, Brooke Brown. I love her stuff. If you like STEM or anything STEM-like, she's the woman to go to on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'm not kidding you. And I follow her on Instagram, and she posts really cool stuff on there, so you know what's coming up. She has math STEM kits and comprehension kits. I am like all over those. I will be making those because these little school boxes, these things, I have a whole other class set of those that I've never used. Those will be my STEM boxes. Yeah, because they hold up much better than like the little 97-cent or 50-cent school boxes that you get from Walmart or whatever from back to school time. And I was going to make math boxes out of those. Like, they'd have math tools in them. But kids lose stuff if you give it to them. I would rather take a couple minutes and just hand out the supplies for that lesson and gather them back up. Because you can't keep replacing stuff. I mean, if you gave them dice, if you gave them rulers, if you gave them cubes, they would lose them all. And you'd be out all that stuff. And clocks and all that stuff. So, and they play with them. That's how they get lost. Or they take them home. This way you can keep track of stuff. I've just learned. It's just easier to take that couple extra minutes and I have a supply clerk in my classroom that it's their job to pass things out. Yeah, and they can even, if it's something that takes a while, I have them pick a friend to help them. And it really works out great. And I can continue on with what I'm doing while they're getting people ready. One of my lovely colleagues just came in a little while ago and informed me that something was due today. She goes, "Did you know that was due today?" And I went, no, thanks for telling me. Right in the middle of getting ready for conferences, we have something else to do. Totally forgot. Some kind of reflection on our video, on our mini lesson video. I'm going to have to find out about that because I don't really remember anything at all. So I should probably go back through my emails and see if I can find some information about that. But I've got conference brain. I'm not thinking about anything else. Just trying to get them ready for conferences because it's tomorrow at 1. So we only have them till 12:20 tomorrow, which really we only have them till 11:20 because that's when we go to lunch. After that, everything's over. They go to lunch, we'll come back, use the restroom, pack, have a little rest and read. We finished Wonder today. The kids were just like, "Oh, that was such a good book. I'm so sad it's over. Do we have another Wonder book we can read?" And one of my friends was like, "Look on the back, there's other Wonder books." And I said, "We might have to get those. I don't know. Depends on what they are." So I thought I'd look up all things Wonder and see maybe I might order another one and have one ready for, today's Wednesday. I could get it by next week. I'll just read some St. Patrick's Day books to get us through the rest of the week since we only have 2 more days. And then next week will be all things Easter, except that I don't think I showed you where our little leprechaun ended up today. Monday, our little leprechaun will be gone because he will have gone back to Ireland. And here he is hiding in the lamp today. See him? That's the silly McGilly. There he is. So yesterday he was up in this thing, hanging out in the Shamrock. Today he's hanging out in the lamp. Kids are like, "I can't find my glue." The leprechaun took my glue. And I'm like, could be. You should probably look around. He probably hid it somewhere. So it's making them look for things a little better. They're blaming everything on the leprechaun. I'm like, poor little leprechaun. Anyway, it's okay. I'll make it through. I don't even know what I was saying because I think I interrupted myself, but that's normal. Let me show you something I found at Walmart. I don't think I showed you. It's really super cute. I showed the kids and I hid it under my shirt and they're like, what do you have? I said, there's the surprise is under my shirt. And they're like, is it a baby? And I said, not exactly. And they're like, are you going to throw it up again? Did you eat it? And I'm like, sure, I did. I'm not going to throw it up. Gross. I mean, they come up with all kinds of weird stuff. I don't know. Here's what I found. You ready? Ready? This is so cute. I needed some. Needed, yeah. Look, I love this little guy. And I looked at him and I went, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need it. I really want it. So for spring and for Easter and stuff, look how cute. And we're talking about rainbows. Everything's rainbows. Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. So isn't that so cute? He's such a cute little Snoopy. So I put him on my desk and I said, we're going to give him a place of honor. I totally forgot to put out the Valentine's Day Snoopies. Yeah, I have Halloween Snoopies. I have a Thanksgiving Snoopy. I have a Christmas Snoopy. And I have Valentine's Snoopy. And I totally did not get out Valentine's Snoopy. So I'm definitely going to have this guy out. Seriously, if they had a St. Patrick's Day Snoopy, I would have been all over that. And there probably is one somewhere. I just haven't seen it. If you see a St. Patrick's Day Snoopy somewhere, let me know so I can get hooked up with that because I will totally order it or whatever. I did not look on Amazon because honestly, I need to stop for a while. Yeah. Cut it off. Okay. I'm going to breathe for a second because I literally have like 5 minutes. Probably put some lipstick back on my face. And get ready for the final push. Because we got to write our goals. That's what we're going to do when we come back is write our goals. I think the ones that are working on their leprechauns, unless they're super close to being done, they're just going to have to do it tomorrow. Because we need to get our goals done. Because they take a while. And I have not printed any of that Lucky Charms coding thing. So I need to do that after school. I need to make a note of that. I should probably do that. But I think I have everything else ready. We'll find out, won't we? Okay, I will chat with you later and let you know how things are going. I should have all the kids' reading levels by the time school's out today because I only have maybe 4 more kids that need to come over. Something like that. I don't know. I can grab them in the morning if I have to. Oh, my phone is way over there and the alarm's going off to go pick up the kids. So I better scoot on out of here and go get them from recess so we can finish up our stuff and get packed and go out of here so I can finish things and go home too. All right. I will talk to you later. Hey, we made it to the end of the day. I'm just changing my calendars here so I can get my stuff together for tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's conference day. Yes, it's going to be good. We have 9 families signed up though out of 20. Yes, I have sent them remind texts. I've sent them notes. I've sent them emails. I don't feel like I have a lot more I can do because I can't call 11 families. I don't have time for that. Don't have time for that. So, change. You know, when you go to change your calendars, that's when you realize how many stinking calendars you actually have. All right, little Silly McGilly needs to have a new home. Where should he go today? Oh, I'm going to stick him in the Tattle Monster thing. Let's sit down in there. I want him to peek. Oh, there. That's super cute. He's like a peek over. Okay. Oh, my kids, they did not all finish their leprechauns because, they're just having a hard time. They're having a hard time finding stuff. But I got all the reading levels that I could get. I got all the kids that were here, their reading levels. Except for the ones that had to leave for reading because I didn't have their reading levels for everything. So they're going to do it tomorrow. They did their reflections. They really did a good job with those. I think those are going to be nice to share with the families. And they did their goals. So I've already written people's names on the reading level page so I can get them tomorrow if they come. I have this. I forgot to wear this. Look at this little wibbly thing. So I had 3 things I could wear on my head. And I'm not going to wear that tomorrow when I have conferences. Okay, we take iPads. And I had a teacher that borrowed them yesterday, which is totally fine. But what was funny was she sent a student over this morning say, can we borrow 2 of your iPads again? And I said, honey, you never brought them back. I said, go remind your teacher that you didn't bring them back. So you still have the 2 from yesterday. And she's like, oh, okay. So I kind of followed her into the classroom and I said, you still have those 2 from yesterday. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, that's okay. We don't need them till after lunch. You can have them until then. So she was like, okay. Funny. Anyway, plug these in. Oh, missing one. Here we go. They're all here. They're all working. They're all going to be charged. Oh, I need to do some things for my project tomorrow. So I'm doing that. I'm going to do that coding. Oh my goodness. Not a hard word, Bond. Not a hard word. That thing that's due today, I could not find any information about it. So I'm going to be a bad teacher and just not even worry about it right now. And I will, honestly, since I only have 9 people, there we go, getting my clicker, the little thingy that goes in your computer for the clicker, I always put it away because you can't, my computer, it sticks out here. I can't put my computer back in its case to take home if that's sticking out of it. And I don't want to take this home and bring it back every day. So I just set it over here. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't even know anymore. Oh, I only have 9 people sign up for conferences like I mentioned earlier. And so I have like a big gap in my time tomorrow. So I could do my whatever I was supposed to do today then. And I'll probably get a little reminder saying, hey, you need to turn this in. I'll be like, oh yeah, sorry. Because I honestly totally forgot about it. I knew, I mean, it rang a bell, but I was like, I don't really remember exactly what we were supposed to do about it. And I don't know where the paper is for it. And did they send it to us on the Google Doc? I don't know. So I need to ask some people about that because I am usually not that person. I am not that person that's like, oh, I forgot about this. Oh, I forgot about that. But I just feel so stressed out right now. Stressed out and frazzled. We're going to make magic leprechaun dust on Friday. And I did not plan on that. So that's a special thing. Because it's snack and I don't really plan on my lesson plans for my snack most of the time. Usually when it's special things like that I do. But I need 4 of those. You gotta remember to pick them up off the color printer. Not on both sides of the page though. Oops. And shrink. There we go. And you use these little cups and you put it's pistachio pudding and you just add a 1/4 cup of milk. It's like let me just look at the thing. I think you add a tablespoon of the powder. There are directions on here somewhere. Tablespoon of the mixture, which I got 5 packages because it said there are 4 servings in each one, but these are probably smaller, so I'll have extra. And it looks, I'll just show you. Why am I trying to explain it here? Looks like that. So this is by Jennifer Drake on Teachers Pay Teachers. Crayons and Cuties in Kindergarten.blogspot. So I'll try to remember to link this below in case you want to try it sometime. But it's really cute. Just add a tablespoon of the mix to each cup. And then you give them a 1/4 cup of milk. And you have them, it's just to dance an Irish jig and shake around and stuff. So they can shake the pudding up. Pistachio pudding turns green. So it's like magical. So I got that printed. I want to show you. I got that silly McGilly pack and I haven't done a stinking thing with it. Maybe next year. Dang it. And this Follow the Rainbow thing is super cute. So you can use this with basically any skill. Like you could have you can have the kids read sight words and every sight word they get to advance a space. Or this one is made to where you roll 2 dice and you make a 2-digit number. And you compare that with your partner's 2-digit number, and whoever has the biggest number gets to move up on the rainbow. But like you could even be like all kinds of stuff to advance to the next thing on the rainbow. But I'm just going to print that out because we could use that. This one's cute too, but I'm not going to do it either. The roll and add bingo. We didn't have time for that either, where you shake 3 dice and they try to get 5 in a row. Won't have time for that either, probably. And I won't have time for that thing that Jeremy Michael book shared either, where you have to print out the things and you tape them together and they shake them in a cup and they dump them out and they see how many of each and they make addition sentences with it. I may have mentioned this before. Okay, it's by Brooke Brown. I mentioned that part. It looks like this. And you give them a cup of Lucky Charms. The partners share. They get one coating map. You can see that very well. And then they get map pieces, which I need to print out. And the path pieces are Lucky Charms. And they get the treasures, which are Lucky Charms marshmallows. And I got these little bonus double packs of Lucky Charms, because I figured we'd do something with graphing, because we always do for St. Patrick's Day. If you don't have Lucky Charms, you can use the paper pieces that she gives you. And these are, you can project this one on the board and they can see what to do. Basically, you're trying to get your leprechaun to the pot of gold, and you have to give him things he has to jump over, and you have to give directions for what he's supposed to do. So it's a strategy planning thing. So I'm going to print these out so it's ready for tomorrow morning. I'm just going to have each kid do their own, honestly, because it'll be easier, because some of the people will need to work on stuff. You give them like a Dixie cup of, I got these, like a little cup of Lucky Charms, and that'll be their little thing. I also have a Skittles graphing we could do, but I don't think we'll have time for it. But they get a little cup of this, and they'll use the pieces to make the path, and they use the marshmallows as the treasures that they can collect through the thing. I'll try to film it. That will be really cute. Okay, so if you don't have Lucky Charms, you can use this. Use those for the pieces. And then for the maze, or like the, supposed to make a path with the Lucky Charms cereal, like the not marshmallow kind. But if you don't have that, you can use these. There's a color version and a black and white. There. You can use that for the path and put those in the spaces. That's where the leprechaun walks. So you wouldn't have to have the Lucky Charms cereal, but I think that would make it more fun. So that's what I'm doing. All right, that's ready to go. Theoretically, if it printed. I'm going to go grab some stuff off the printer. And I should probably get my grade cards printed too. And then I'll probably talk to you in the morning. Look at this beautiful sea of magic leprechaun dust. It's all ready for Friday. I'm so excited. The kids are going to love it. So you just add a 1/4 cup of milk to each one. And then you have the kids dance an Irish jig and bounce around and shake it. And then you can let it sit for a little bit to thicken. I think I'm going to have them do that, and then maybe we'll stick them in the fridge for a while. I think that would be good. And then we'll have this for a snack. And I have some Ready Whip left over from some of our ice cream parties that are still sealed. So they should be still good, and that would be a cute thing to put on top. I had this idea this morning when I was getting ready for school. I thought, I want to give all of my teammates a St. Patrick's Day scarf on Friday and give them a cute little tag that says, I'm lucky to work with you, I'm lucky I know you, something like that. Surely there's something like that on Pinterest for free that I can find. So I'm going to look for a tag to put on there. I think I'll just stick it right on this thing right here. But this is the one I wore today. You can see, that's the one I have on. So I thought this was really cute, and I thought, oh man, what if they don't have them anymore? I went to Dollar Tree, and I looked at the aisle that was right past the Easter aisle. It was completely empty, and I was like, oh no, it's already gone. And then I turned my head, and I was like, oh, they moved it. They consolidated it down to one little end cap because they had sold so much of it that there wasn't much left. But they had a ton of these left. I think they had like 12 of these, and I got 9 because I have 6 first grade colleagues, plus we have a first grade reading teacher, plus we have 2 student teachers. So I got everybody one so that they could all have a scarf to wear on St. Patrick's Day. So I think that would be really sweet. And for $1, I mean, it's going to buy me more than $1 worth of happiness. So it's totally worth it for me. So I'm looking forward to getting those ready to give on Friday. This is the coding activity for the Lucky Charms coding from Brooke Brown, Think Outside the Box. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. So I did obviously a very crude version of it on the board so the kids could see what to do. And we checked it and we realized I had missed some directions because it's real easy to forget to tell your leprechaun to go down and then do something on the little square. So they're having a good time. I told them they could eat the Lucky Charms that were in their cup, but not the ones off their path because they were going to make a new path later, if time allows. I may send this home with them and let them do it with their families too. That would be really fun. But this was super cute. Look how awesome they did. So they had to put their leprechaun somewhere at the beginning of the path, and they had to get to the pot of gold. And in between, they had to make a path with the Lucky Charms normal pieces. They had to pick 3 marshmallow treasures to collect along the way. They had to go over a rainbow bridge and avoid 2 traps. So fun. So super fun. So some kids were very elaborate and some not so elaborate.
Street alone. Her head was down, face locked onto the phone. And I wished I'd had a number so I could be color unknown. And then I tell her to look into my eyes and never let it go.
All set up for conferences. So they're going to come over here and get their self-reflection things and their goal sheet and their reading graph and share that with their families. Then they'll choose 2 games and teach it to their families. And then they'll come over to the table and we'll talk about the report card and we'll be done. I am finally home from conferences. It is about 8:30. I finally got to sit down and just take a breath. I didn't have conferences scheduled one on top of each other the whole night, but like the beginning of my night was like that and the end of my night was like a whirlwind. And in between I had little breaks. So I was getting things put away. I got a bin out of the first grade closet and I gathered up a lot of the stuff that was just piling up behind my desk and kind of cleaned that up a little bit. It's still not great, but it's better. And I'm going to just have to move some stuff around because I don't need everything back there, obviously. But I can put away my St. Patrick's Day stuff after tomorrow. So that'll be good. And then I'll have to get out my Easter stuff. So I'll just switch bins. That'll be fine. My kids loved being able to show their families what they could do with their little self-reflection sheets, and playing those games was really super cool. So they really, really enjoyed that, and the families thought the games were awesome. I heard some really nice comments about the games and how fun they were, how great it was that their kids got to play games at school. I'm just happy that everything went well. My conferences were good. I had like 12 families that came tonight, and I'm going to meet with some more next week because not everyone can come on the same day, which is okay because people work different schedules. So we'll work that out. I always am very flexible with my times. So hopefully I can catch as many people as possible. There are some people that just never come no matter what you do, and you can't force them. So what are you going to do, right? You do the best you can and you just keep moving on. So tomorrow is going to be Fun Friday. We're doing all St. Patrick's themed games and activities and books and snacks and just all kinds of fun stuff. And they're going to set their leprechaun traps at the end of the day to see if we can catch that pesky little leprechaun over the weekend. We'll see if he's in the trap on Monday. So we'll have to see what happens. We've never caught one before, but there's always a first time. So I will see you in the morning.
One survived. I'm doing it this time. Oh, you're gonna do it from that side? Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, is it too heavy?
Wait, I did it. It all nudged in. Wait. Yeah! Okay, and this is a door to this. And then this is a lamp, Christmas tree, and baby sister, dog, and a cat.
Yeah.
And then dog food and water.
Dog food and water? Oh, you guys are so creative. Cute. Awesome.
One more ladder.
Okay, go for it again. Oh no, repairs are needed. All right. One more time. Woo! Ah!
Good.
Good morning. Happy Friday. So glad I survived conferences last night. I didn't vlog much at all yesterday because it was just too crazy busy. We dismissed at 12:20, but we still had everything that day. We had power hour, we had recess, specials, lunch, and a few things in between. So I did show the coding activity that we did. That was super cool. I'll link it below so you can try it with your class. It won't matter if it's after Leprechaun time. You can still use Lucky Charms. The kids will be all over that. It'll be fun. Let me show you what I'm wearing, and I'll show you all the crazy of our room. So obviously today is our St. Patrick's Day since it's going to fall on a weekend. So I've got some more of my St. Patrick's Day outfits on. We were told last night in a text on Remind from our principal, thanks for doing great conferences. You guys rocked. Don't bother doing your hair tomorrow. You can wear a hat. Well, I never planned to wear a hat anyway, so that was not news to me. I already had this one picked out. So I'm wearing my lovely leprechaun hat from Dollar Tree. And I took a Dollar Tree scarf that has hats on it and just tied it on there. Thought that was kind of cute. So I'm wearing all kinds of hats. I have leprechaun hat earrings from Walmart. I have this awesome little bow tie. This was from Dollar Tree. This came from, I don't know, I've had this for a very long time. Of course, you know my nails came from Dollar Tree last year. I filed them down. They keep getting more rounded and more rounded as we go on, so I just filed them a little shorter so I don't catch them on stuff. And then I've just got some black regular shoes on and some fancy socks, fancy leggings, and a fancy shirt. So I'll back up so you can see all that. So this shirt came from Walmart a long time ago, like I've had it for years. These leggings came from Walmart this year, which I showed in a haul one time. Let me show you what it looks like a little more closely. Lucky. And then my leggings. They have Lucky horseshoes and Lucky Shamrocks and leprechaun hats all over. And they're capris, but I'm shorty, so it doesn't go down. It doesn't go up very far on me. And I just wore my black shoes that I wore yesterday. I was going to wear my tennis shoes, but they kind of hurt my feet the other day, so I thought, no, it's not. And then I've got rainbows and clovers, shamrocks all over my feet. Yes. The kids thought it was awesome what I was wearing, and I loved not having to fix my hair. And I have a hair appointment after school, so it was great. I just washed and dried my hair, tucked it behind my ear, and said, I'm good to go. It was great because I forgot to turn my alarm on last night. So it didn't go off. My husband's alarm went off 25 minutes after mine would have gone off. So it was like, ah! But we made it. We were okay because I didn't have to do anything with my hair today. So that helped a lot. One of my kiddos filled up another card today. So I'm having to get a new one. I love it. They were all a little loud and squirrely in line to get ready for art. So I just walked around and handed green stickers out without saying a word. And they went, and I'm like, that's what it should have looked like before I handed stickers out. Yep. So only about 3 kids got stickers, which they will do better next time because they are all about the sticker life, let me tell you. So this friend gets a new card on the wall. I've just been giving cards out like crazy and stickers out like crazy because we want to get to that rainbow card and we only have 2 months to do it. So I am really working on giving them stickers. And I bought more of those stickers at Walmart the other day. I think I showed that in my video on Wednesday. So trying to keep myself in stickers so I don't run out. And thankfully they're not very expensive. You get, I don't know how many there are. Let's see. It's a pack of 315 for like, it's less than $2. So it's not bad. It's worth it for your peace of mind as a teacher, for sure. For sure. Okay, that looks good. I've got a couple of orange ones. Most of them are going to the orange, if they're not already on it. Throw those back in my little drawer here. I brought another storage thing today. Look at this. I got one of those. I measured last night in the middle of conferences when I didn't have anybody. I realized it would fit perfectly under my desk and it wouldn't bug my leg because I don't sit all the way up anyway. And I still have room for my bag and miscellaneous around my bag. So that's good. Happy about that. So we got an email from the principal saying that recess would be inside this morning. I don't really know why. I don't think it's super cold and I don't think it's raining. So I'm not really sure why it is, but okay. So on the announcements, our principal said, oh yeah, it's supposed to rain all day. Check your email, but I said, if you have recess before 10:30, you'll have it inside in the cafeteria. If you have recess after 10:30, you'll have it in your classroom. Gross. We do have a recess supervisor that watches our kids, but she watches them on the playground. So our choices were, we could partner up with our buddy teacher in one of our classrooms and the recess teacher would come to that classroom. Or we could split our recess in half and do half of it in our room, half of it in the buddy teacher's room, or whatever we want to do. So my recess is not till 12:55. I'm going to think that they're going to have the cafeteria cleaned up from lunch way before 12:55. Lunch is over like at 12:30 at the latest. We get out of lunch right before 12, and then second grade comes, and it's only 25 minutes for lunch. So you can't tell me they won't have that thing cleaned up in 45 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they're done. So I invited the other teacher to come into my classroom for recess because I don't have a lot of stuff on the floor. I can move the desks against the walls, which I like to do on Fridays anyway. I'll do that for our rest and read time. The kids love it. They love it. And we'll just leave it like that for the rest of the day because they can work back there too at the desk or they can work on the floor. Be great. I was going to do a spell and count graph, but I forgot I was going to do that magical leprechaun dust. Kind of forgot about that. I didn't even put it in my plans. I just went, oh yeah, I was going to do that, and I forgot to put it on there. So this is the thing that we did. These labels are free, and I'll try to remember to link it below so you can get it. But it's just pistachio pudding. You put a tablespoon of pistachio pudding in here, and then when you're ready to do it, you put a 1/4 cup of milk in each cup. I showed an Irish jig, and it was the perfect amount of time. It was 1 minute and 45 seconds, which was perfect shaking time for our pudding. So we just shook it around as we did the Irish jig as these two men were showing how to do it on this video. And I'll link the video below too. But that was the perfect amount of time for them to do their little jig and shake it around. And then I said, carefully open it up. And a couple of students had trouble getting it open. So I went around. And then I gave them some of that spray whip if they wanted it and the spoon. And then we, instead of doing a thankful song, we said, Happy St. Patrick's Day. And then we ate it. And some of the kids were like, ew, this is gross. And I'm like, if you don't like it, that's okay. But we don't need to shout that out because other people do like it. Anyway, most of the kids liked it. Pistachio pudding is a little different. So I wasn't surprised. There are always kids that don't like things. So it's no big deal. I said, it's okay if you don't like it. You tried it. And that's the important thing. So then I had them throw their spoons away. And I gave them the little label, which I had them pull the label off because I just put a piece of tape on it. I said, pull the label off. You can keep this part. Because they're like, can we keep the cups and stuff? And I'm like, no, we're going to use those for something else later. So we want to keep those because they're not super expensive. It's like $2.50 or $3 for a pack of 8 of those cups from Walmart. But you know, take that times 3. You have to buy 3 packages because they come in 8s. And it can get pricey. But if you can reuse them, it's not too bad. Those are the same cups I use for my dice shakers, which are great. So I'm going to run them through the dishwasher. I rinsed them out pretty good, and I left them on the trays because I need to take the trays home too. They're a little gnarly. I need to wash them again. So I said, you can have this part because I can't save these very well. What I might do sometime, though, is laminate them for next year. Maybe not. I don't know. They kind of like to be able to take this home. So let's give that to them as a little memento. So they'll take that, but I'll keep the cups. So I just had them throw their spoon away, put their cup and lid in the sink for me, and then line up for art. And they got to put this little label. They got to put the label in their cubby. Yes, I've been listening to The Greatest Showman. Oh yeah, that's my jam. Okay, I got the spelling tests given and graded and recorded. And I'm ready to put them in their cubbies with a stack of papers that I checked last night. I remembered to do treasure chest. I got everybody from the treasure chest. There are only like 5 kids today. And I need to do my newsletter. So I'm going to try to do that. When we come, oh my, there's something in my eye. When we come back from art, we are going to do a, what's it called? Oh, it's one of those Move It activities from Primary Techie, and it's a review. It's a St. Patrick's Day basic skills review. So I'll be sure to show the screen so you can see what that looks like. It's some math and reading stuff that they just practice. So it'll just be fun. And then they get to do actions after a few questions are answered. Then we'll get ready for lunch. Then I was going to have them do their electronics party, but they did not earn their last 10 stars. And we just kind of need to just chill out this afternoon. So I've got lots of games for them to play. Well, one of them is, I called it Spill and Count Graph. It's the same thing. Grab, graph, and tally. So last night, in between people, I took my, everything's falling. I took bags and I counted out 20 random St. Patrick's Day erasers. And they're just going to dump these out. And I made 20 bags worth. And they'll just count how many they have and make their graph and stuff on there. Also, the reason I did 20 is because this rolling cover has 20 spaces on it. So, double duty. So they'll do this first. Then they'll do this. And they'll just keep the bag of erasers. And I do have something on the back side, but I didn't get the spinners made for this. Pooh. And I don't see that happening. I even left a note on my computer. Spinner, 10 to 20. Honestly, I didn't even open my computer when I got home last night. I was so tired. Wow, was I tired. And I even fell asleep with the phone laying on me. And when I woke up, it was under my pillow in the bed. I had not charged it. As a matter of fact, I should probably charge it right now. It's probably getting low. And I'm like, wow, I was really tired. Like I just conked out. So we will for sure do the grab, graph, and tally, and we'll do this. That'll be fun. With my little erasers. I also have, we're going to do this first. They're going to make their leprechaun hats, because we got to do that. We got to. They can all have their leprechaun hat. And on this part, you put their leprechaun names. I need to do that. So, like, I would be Mrs. McBond. You put a Mech or an O, depending on what sounds better. So you can be like O-Bond or McBond. So like for Jeremy Michael Book, I think he would sound really good as Mr. O. Michael Book. That would be really cool. Okay, I'm going to get that done because I totally forgot I need to do that. I'll also show you, I found this. Shamrock Shake Up. You just give them a dot cube. I didn't make the one that came with this. I think there's one you can like print it on cardstock and like fold it and tape it and all that stuff. No. I'm going to get my big foam dot cubes. They love those. And then they'll roll it, and whatever one they get that sound. They find a picture that begins with that sound, and they'll cover it up with one of their little erasers. And they only need 8 for this, but whatever. It'll still work. It'll be good. And it's a partner game, so you just sit across from your partner like that. And one has this side and one has this side. It's pretty fun. That'll be something we do too. I also have this game, and I think what I'm going to have them do is shake the dice cups, and whoever gets the biggest number wins that round, and they'll cover up their pieces as they go across the rainbow. And whoever gets to 10 first wins. And I have something special to put on those. I got these at Walmart. They had in the, like the vases and decorative plant stuff and the craft stuff. Not like over by the growing plants, but like the fake plants and the decorative plant things. They had these bags mixed of, they had these little, they're called gems. And look, there are some clear green ones and some like matte, like, I don't know, opaque ones. I'm like, oh, that would be perfect for a game where they need 2 different colors. So really it wouldn't matter on this one because they all have different rainbows. But if it got moved, they would know which one was which. So one will be like the more opaque one, and one will be the more transparent one on here, and it'll be really cute. And these are going to be probably just about the perfect size for those little circles. I mean, look, isn't that, it's perfect. Perfect, a happy accident, yay. 4 games and an Irish hat. That's the rest of our day, yep. And some Go Noodle for recess. That'll be fun. Okay, I'm gonna get these hats figured out, and I will show you what they look like on the kids. I'll just take a picture and then I can blur their faces out. And we'll go on with our day, and I'll check back in with you later. We will have our PLC meeting later. We'll have to group our kids from the test we gave yesterday. But we don't have a new grid to put them in, which we'll need to do. So we'll get that figured out. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, I'm going to get back to work, and I'll chat with you later. Hey! Count to 100 by ones. Let's do it fast. 96, 97, 98, 99, 100! Woo! Oh, do an Irish jig. Yay! Look at that rainbow getting filled up. Looking cool, looking cool.
Who won?
You don't know yet.
And one thing went. Oh, thank you, Mama.
Tally up how many of each kind. No, that's just for sorting. Then on that the thing on this side right here, you tally.
Now I need 5 more of my own.
I just want to quickly show you what the room looks like all set up with the leprechaun traps, and then I got to scoot to my meeting. So I finally made it home. It's a little dark in here because it's kind of stormy outside. You're seeing light from my lamp. It's about 5:30, and my daughter and I made it home for my hair appointments after school. And I started some laundry. Yes, it's Friday night, and I started laundry because tomorrow is going to be gone before I know it, because my daughter has music contest all day in a city that's about 40 minutes away from us. And it's just going to be an all-day ordeal because she sings first thing and she sings last thing. So she's at the beginning and the end of the whole day. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully we can take her in the middle of her singing and go do some things and then bring her back. We'll see if that works. I wanted to show you what I just got in the mail. Augie and me, 3 wonder stories. So you can see the 3 other people that it's going to focus on in this book. So if you've read the original Wonder book, you know that the book is not really in chapters so much as it is in like little sections. These are some other characters that were in the book, but they didn't focus on their perspective and they didn't have a whole section devoted to them. That's the microwave beeping from my rice bags because my head hurts so much because of the sinus pressure. So I'm hoping that will help me. Anyway, so my kids are so excited. They said, "Do they have more Wonder stories?" And I said, "Yeah. I know there's a picture book." And they're like, "Eh." And I said, "I think there's another book. Let me look it up." So I just looked it up on Amazon on my app on my phone. And I said, "Oh yeah, there's the Augie and Me book. It's got 3 more stories about Wonder." And they're like, "Yeah, we want to read that one." I said, "Well, let me see if I can order it and we'll see what we can do." So I told them yesterday that I had ordered it and that it would be here today after school and that we could start it on Monday. And they were so excited, so excited. And so I'm really glad that they love the book so much. We're going to be doing some kindness activities from now to the end of school, like some random acts of kindness where we'll just like leave little notes around for teachers and leave little goodies for them, and like kind of like those, like the you've been egged, you've been spooked, you've been elfed, you've been grinched kind of things, but just kind of like randomly through the whole school. Like normally I focus on my first grade teammates because they're right there, but I'm going to send my little sneaks upstairs to second grade and kindergarten. I'll send them to the office and just be like, "Here, this is for you," you know, whatever. So That'll be fun. Send them on some little outings to brighten people's days. So that'll be really nice. And since I have morning duty room, it's kind of nice because several of my students are trying to get to school earlier so they can come in our room early because they really like to be in there. And I can have them go on some adventures and leave them by people's doors. So I've got my little secret spy club here. And they're just going to think that's the most awesome thing ever. So I can send them on secret missions and maybe the people won't even know. That'll be nice. Because we want to be anonymous. It's a little more fun and a little more, I don't know, more genuine probably because, you know, obviously you're not trying to get attention. You're not trying to get thank yous. You're not trying to get anything out of it. You're just doing it out of the goodness of your heart and to warm someone else's heart and make their day. And this is the time of year where people need something. They need a little something special to keep them going. So we're going to be that little something special. I'll keep you posted on what I do because you might want to start random acts of kindness in your classroom too. Because the great thing about giving is it makes the giver feel good too. It's just like those bucket filler notes. When you fill someone else's bucket, you fill your own too. And we're going to be starting those after spring break. I've had those ready since the beginning of school. Yes, they've been sitting in a bucket the whole time. And I don't know, we talked about them. And it's like we get into the year and we get into the groove of things and we get so busy doing all of the learning that we need to do and all the teaching that I need to do. And we get into our projects and everything else. And it just kind of gets shoved aside. And we do say things to people, thank yous, and you filled my bucket and all that kind of stuff. But it's nice to have something to hold on to, like to physically be able to keep and hold on to. So one of my kids yesterday picked up the bucket and went, "What's this?" I went, "Oh, that would be our bucket full of bucket filler notes that we need to start doing." I said, "Now that writing is so much easier for you, we're going to start those after spring break." And they're like, "Yay!" So I'm going to have to give them certain times where they're allowed to do it. I think probably during center wheel time would be the best because otherwise they're going to flake out on all their other work they need to do. So whenever they go to center wheel time, I'm going to tell them that they are allowed to do 2 bucket filler notes each center wheel time. We lost 2 students this week. They moved away without really any notice. So now I'm down to a class of 18. So I will be the class that gets all of the new students, even though we really have about 8 weeks left in the quarter. Yeah, we have 8 weeks, but there'll only be 7 teaching weeks because one of the weeks is spring break. So we have next week, we have a week of spring break, and then we have like 5 weeks of teaching after that, and then a week of, we got to get testing and grade cards and everything. So really it's more like 6 weeks of teaching. So I've gotten students that late before. Last year I got 3 within 6 weeks of school being out. 3. And you're like, yeah, gosh, I hope you learned stuff in your other school or schools because I cannot go back and reteach you everything from first grade. I can't. You're going to have to start from here and go on. And I will give you the tests for all the things that we have done, but I cannot teach you all the things because I don't have the time to go back and redo the entire year with, 1 or 2 kids. So that's just kind of how it rolls, unfortunately. So hopefully they will have had those things in their other educational endeavors before they came to me. Oh, it's just hard. We have a lot of move in, move out in our area. It's really sad. You just do what you can do, and that's all you can do, and you just pray for them, and you love them while they're here. And let them know that you care. And then sometimes you don't see them again, so you just hope that they're well. Yep. I was looking ahead. I did not get my newsletter done, nor did I get lesson planning done for next week. That will be happening probably on Sunday, maybe when I have part of a brain left. But I only have 4 more lessons in this chapter for Go Math and then the test. So that's going to work out great because we have 4 days and then we have Friday. We have 4 regular days and then Friday, and I can give the test on Friday. Except I was thinking I might combine some of the lessons because 2 of the lessons are about tally marks. My kids are all great at tally marks. I mean, really, because we've used them to do surveys and all kinds of things throughout the year. So I really think that they would be ready for a test on this really soon. So I think I'll just do that. Yeah, because it's graphing. Graphing and tally marks are so easy for them. Like I said, we've done a lot of that through the year. just randomly. So it should be a no-brainer for them, really. They've told me this is really easy for them, and I'm like, yay, I'm glad. I'd almost forgotten that I had those St. Patrick's Day temporary tattoos that I picked up at Walmart last Saturday, and I had laid them on my desk, thankfully, or I would have totally forgotten about them. But I was like, oh, I have something for you. So I let them go choose one of the tattoos before they left today, too, and they were so excited. They're like, oh, these are so cool. I'm like, yeah, they are, so have fun. That's my cat Mittens. She always does that when she has a toy in her mouth and she wants to play. It's very strange. She's an odd little duck. But we love her. You know, we love them all. Odd ones and all. Yes. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you've had a fabulous week. I hope your students were kind. I hope your job was kind. And I hope you can rest this weekend. If you're on spring break, I hope you're enjoying it to the fullest. I hope you are taking all of the opportunities to rest, relax, rejuvenate, do what makes you happy, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel complete and rested. And I will talk to you again later. See you next time.